to find new business for your properties. And I have been in business 20 years. I have about 100 employees that do nothing but train hotel salespeople or find leads for hotels. So everything that I share with you today works. This is a program that we work with Properties 101, or we work with management companies. It just works. It doesn't matter how we do it. If you're simply taking an hour each day prospecting, you're going to build a pipeline that helps you. So the first thing that you have to do when you are starting to find new clients is you have to have some sort of database to keep your leads in. And we simply use an Excel spreadsheet when we're training hotels, and we put an Excel spreadsheet in a Google document. I will show you how to go to, up here you see docs.google.com. We have our people that we're training, and we just started training one of your hotels yesterday, so we're really excited to get started with them. And you literally put everything that you find on the websites that I'm going to be sharing with you on here. So in yellow, you're going to put who the organization is, all of their contact information. You either have to have an email address or a phone number. It's one or the other. A lot of people ask that you go in and you put, more when you're qualifying. This is a way that you can keep up with it over here. Or on the left-hand side of your spreadsheet, you can just put, the date you contacted them, the action that you took. Did you send them an email? Did you follow up with a phone call? And then you need your follow-up. So let's say I've found a great piece of business, like on the bottom of page 2 of your handout, done this research. We find Jane Jones, who's the event director of Maybe Sports, and she has a tournament coming up, and I've got her phone number, her email address, and I see that it's a tournament coming up in July in Fort Worth for 2014. And while it's on her website, I noticed there wasn't a hotel listed. So I called on 4-6, left a message. That would go in here, and then 4-8, when I need to call back, I would follow up on 4-8. And we almost always send an introductory email. That way it's name recognition. People will see the name of your hotel, and they're like, oh, okay. They may not, they may even delete it, but they're going to see the name of your hotel so that when you call, they're going to go, okay, I know that hotel somehow, or I know that person somehow. And it's going to be a name recognition thing where a lot of times you get them to talk to you simply because they've seen the name of your property. So that's why we like to send out a broadcast, email first. So you just go through and you can put everything on here. So if everything that's in green is what this hotel has closed, and there's a lot of them that they have to go through that aren't closed yet, but they're still working them. If you're looking for corporate, you can break these out and have all of your corporate people, contacts that you're trying to build. Maybe it's that business traveler that you're trying to get a hold of. Sports groups, you can go in and put any of your different groups on here that you want, market segments. And then you can have a spreadsheet that has all of your confirmed bookings. So you can see out of the ones that you've prospected, that you've worked, this is how much you closed. And this will continue to grow if you will spend an hour a day prospecting. Even if you don't have the time to do the prospecting yourself, teach someone else on your property how to do it. The front desk person could maybe do the research that I'm going to show you, and then you make the sales calls. We do a lot of that where we break out and break up the task. So that's an individual spreadsheet. Now all you have to do is take a spreadsheet, and you're just going to upload it. So you would go in and you'd create one, or you would upload. So you've already done an Excel spreadsheet. You go in, set up an account with drive.google or docs.google, and you put your spreadsheet on there. So let's say you're the general manager and you have someone helping you, but you're going to be going on vacation. You can actually look every day and see what the person that's left behind at the property is doing. You can see if they're doing this research. You can see if they're adding leads in for you. You can see what is happening. So at any time, or someone in corporate office sees, like we just started this hotel. And so we just created her Excel spreadsheet, and now she's starting today doing the research, and we'll start adding all this information in. So I can see it, corporate can see it, whoever, the trainer sees it, whoever needs to see it can see it. So that was a tool that you absolutely have to have, and I've given you instructions on how to set up an Excel spreadsheet and a Google document so that you can make use of it. Now, if you have any questions on this, on your handout, my contact information is there, lisa@hotelresources.com. If you get stuck and you're trying to do this and you're having a problem, just shoot me an email. I'll be happy to have one of my trainers help you, contact you, and walk you through it, because it really is a good tool. And you can't build a sales pipeline without some sort of database. So let's go to page 3, and let's start building your pipeline. Now, I have given you, the bottom of page 3, several search engines. Most people aren't aware of this, but there's actually 500,000 search engines. There is a search engine for every industry that you can imagine. So if you're sports, you need to find more sports. If you need to find, sorry, this thing keeps flopping through. Whatever it is, you can find different search engines. But I'd like for you to start out building a database on your competitor's business. Let's go see who's going to your competitors. And anytime you're in a search engine, you need to, number one, the very first rule is put a current year. You want to make sure that what you're asking for is good current data. So then we're going to put one of your competitors. So I'll put the Best Western Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania in here. Actually, I'm going to change that up just a bit. And we are going to put quotes around the name of that hotel. And it should just be Best Western Mechanicsburg. So take out the Pennsylvania. You want to make sure that the name of your competitor stays in a set of quotes. That way we will get hits just on that hotel. And we want to find groups that are going there. Like before I make any other changes, you notice down here it says Best Western Mechanicsburg, Harrisburg is on this website for Business Finder. And then here's another one. But we're going to add to it. You need to have, if you notice, on the middle or the bottom of the picture here, there's different event words that you can use. You can have any type of event word that you like, but I want to start out with the word seminar. So then we're going to hit search, and you can continually add to this, and you go through. So there's Business Finder, there's Hotel Planner. We'll start out with national seminars here, and we pull up national seminars, and we want to go in and we can put your state. So let's go in, and that's in Pennsylvania. So I am going to pull up Pennsylvania. You can actually put your zip code, which I like. I like it when they do that, because no matter where you are, you should be able to find something for your market. Now, I just pulled up the entire state. And so as you can see, and you can say, no, I really like 50 miles, 90 miles, whatever the radius is that you would like. Now, these folks move all over the place. So it starts in Allentown, and then it goes into Harrisburg. And as you click on the more information, this is at the Courtyard by Marriott, April the 17th it was. And then for this particular event, it tells you all of the other locations that they have for that event. And we're just going to go back. And one of these will be at the Best Western. There's a Holiday Inn East. So you see all the different hotels that are getting this. and there's another one at the Courtyard. So we need to find somebody to talk to. And usually you can either find where it says Contact Us, or it may be About Us. So I click on About Us, and then as I scroll down, then it gives me the Contact Us button. And there's your phone number. And you're going to call them and you're going to say, I'm on your website. Always say that I'm on your website. Simply by doing that, they realize that they need to be helpful, because you're on their website and what you're looking for is difficult to find. So you just contact them. I'm on your website. I see that you have several events in my market. I'd like to talk to whoever is booking those events at my competitors or in the hotels in my market. And these are really easy folks to work with. They're really good about helping you out. You can also look at different corporate training. You can look and see if maybe some of the other pages, their Contact Us button will have a person's name. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they're different. So it's worth looking through some of them. It's also worth filling this form out. Go ahead and put your personal information in there and put your personal email address. Don't put your corporate information, because there's no one sitting there on their end reading this. As soon as you hit Submit and you fill this out, you hit Submit, it's an auto reply button. You automatically will get an email that comes back to you. It'll have a contact name, it'll have their email address, it'll usually have their direct phone line, and then that's who you can call and talk to. So don't be afraid to fill that out. That's the first thing. It gives you what you're looking for. The second thing this does, it puts your email address in their database. So when you go to, you know, a week later, 2 weeks later, a month later, you'll get an email from them, and it'll tell you about all their upcoming events that they have. A lot of times they don't have a hotel selected at that point, and you can give them a call. So I'm going to go back out of this one, and we continually just work through the list, and you're going to go through, and I am going to add and see if I can find, see what we are going to put PA in here and see if that makes a difference. No, it doesn't. It made it worse. But I'd like to see if we can add to this and put room block. Because a lot of the times you can go in and find groups that are going to those hotels, and you can get their room blocks or the rate that they're paying. And I see different ones. Let me try this in another search engine and see what I can find. So the cool thing about looking at, let me break that up actually. We're going to just put Best Western instead of knowing the name of it. We're going to go in and try it this way. Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. So we've got Best Western, Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, and let's then try and see if we can find better this way. All right. Right off the bat, we see this one right here, hotel room block. And as I scroll down, this is insurance agents and brokers. As I scroll down, we'll see all of these different events that are happening in your area. This one's at the Holiday Inn, the Marriott Pittsburgh, Holiday Inn, Mechanicsburg. Here's one at the Hampton Inn in Mechanicsburg. And they're paying a $117 rate, May the 6th through the 8th. Sleeping rooms only, music to your ears. I love it when you see that. That is also, folks, sleeping rooms only is another phrase that you can use when you're looking for business in your market. We can go through here, and then again, the Hampton Inn, Mechanicsburg, May the 13th to the 14th, sleeping rooms only. Another room rate of $117. And we're just going to go through Hampton Inn. It gets it again in June. So this is the type of business that you absolutely want. This is just, you don't have to have any meeting space whatsoever. This works out really well. And here is the Hampton Inn Harrisburg West, so another Hampton Inn. And this has everything on there that you need. So all we need now is somebody to call. So we would go into here. You can click on that and send an email. You can go in and let's see if we can find the management team. And I don't want that. So as I scroll up, or let me scroll down, management training, no, that's not what we want. There we go. We click on these and they start dropping down, and we can go in and see if we can find the contact us. A lot of the times, let me pull up the about, we'll go here. We need to find somebody to talk to. So if they don't have the contact right here, at least it gives you phone numbers. Call that phone number and ask to speak to the person that's booking this business in your market. And it always helps just to tell them I'm on your website. So that's another way of looking and finding groups in your market. So you're going to put your city in a set of quotes, the name of your competitor. If it will help you pinpoint just that one particular hotel if you have just the name of that hotel in here. You can go in and put room block. You can also put room rate in a set of quotes. You can put a number of different things that will pull up. We can change this word from seminar to workshop. And once we change it to workshop, then you will get different hits, because these are workshops now and not seminars. Now this one was one that had some opportunity. I saw this one earlier today. And as you go through here, there's all sorts of different workshops. And it gives you a phone number for each one of them. It gives you past workshops. That's great because you want to know who was at your competitors last May, last June. So you can call them and see if they don't have it on here listed on their website. Then you can go in and see if you have an opportunity to book them this year. So that's a good source to find 2013. You can also just change this year to 2013. It'll get last year's information. But you just keep working this list. You go all the way through here. And so I'm down at the bottom here, and there's still a good hit here that, I call them hits, that could be potential business. So I want to look and see March the 17th at the Best Western Premier in Harrisburg. You can go in and look at the brochure. The brochure will tell you, if there's a lot of meeting space that they need, or a lot of other information there. You can, Ms. McCarthy is the person that you need to talk to. It's right here. And we can go down. Let's see if we can get, it gives us directions to the hotel. I was trying to see if they have a rate. Let's go back up here. I always like it if I can find the rate. The first thing that I'm trying to find is the rate before I call them. There's a $20 rate, but I think that's just for the seminar itself. So we'll have to go in and contact them, and that's okay. There's your president, vice president, executive director. That's usually who you're going to call in an organization like this. So all you have to do is give Judy Graves a call, tell them you're on your website. You also see other events that they have over here on the right-hand side. Look at all of this before you start calling. That way, the more educated you are on their events, the better chance they're going to talk to you, and you have a chance of getting your foot in the door. So you're just going to continue going through to page 1, page 2, 3, however many are there. There are some really good programs that are on here, and you just keep doing a little bit more digging. And This one has several different events that's on here, something for a little bit of everybody. And what I like about it, not only does it give you, this is weekend business, so Mechanicsburg here, they're staying at the Ramada Limited, the Holiday Inn Express, so they don't have any meeting space. So these would be really good groups for you. So look and see if they have any more coming to your market, or make sure you're on the list for next year. And just go in, contact them, and find out if you have an opportunity. You don't know until you ask. So you simply go in, you go to the Contact Us, and you're either, this one I believe has the full directory. So I open up the staff directory. I love it when they do this. So I'm going to go all the way down because they have towards the bottom their meetings department. There we go. Sorry, education and training. And these are the people that are putting it on. So those are the 4 folks that you need to talk to. It doesn't get any easier than that. If you click on there, you can send them an email, and then you can call their number. There's your extension, and you can get right to them. So that's one way to go through, and I've got to speed things up because I've got a lot to cover. But I really wanted to show you how to dig into your competitor's business. You can change your event words. You can change your variations. One time, spell out your state versus abbreviating it. You'll get different words, different hits. Please use some of these different search engines that I have here because they will provide leads to you that other search engines like Yahoo or Google will not. Now, just doing those exercises on page 4, I've given you an exercise to go back, go into your competitors, and start putting these in here so you have people to call. And you can use this to train someone else on your property as well. They can watch this webinar, and they can learn how to help you build your pipeline. All right, let's look on page 5. Now, you also need to dig into not just your competitors, people in your backyard. We want to find as many open opportunities as possible. And at the beginning of the year, I have about 40 researchers that dig and find leads for hotels. And up until usually June and July, we are, for every single hotel we work for, spend a good, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 hours a week trying to find the TBDs and TBAs, the to be determined, to be announced, those types of events out there. And I'm just going to stay in Yahoo because it'll just make it easier versus going around. So I'm going to change this up a little bit. I'm going to go in and we'll put, we're going to put Altamonte Springs, and I'm going to put the word tournament, and then we'll start out with location TBD, to be determined. And as I go through here, there's a lot of them on this one page. As I go through here, I click and I see that there's a national bodybuilding event, and this is where you can save a lot of time. If you will use the Control F, this is a little find box. For me, it comes up on the bottom left-hand side of my screen. For you, depending on what browser you use, yours may be at the top right-hand. So if I go in here, and I don't want to go through this entire database because it's a really large calendar, I'm going to type in TBD, I think is what I used, and it takes me to the first to be determined. And I keep going. And then it'll take me to one that was in Florida, Cypress, Big Cypress Classic in April. Don't know when because I didn't go back on here and finish it. So that was a to be determined. As I click on it again, there's another one for May, and there's one for New Mexico, and just you keep going through here, and you'll find some amazing hits that you're like, oh my gosh, like Tyler, Texas. What I like about this website, there's a lot of them that are in just smaller markets. They're not in all the large markets. You've got Tyler, Texas. It's not very, very big. And as you click on these, You go in and you can find, I believe they had the contacts. Yeah. Here's the promoter. You can give this person a call. They'll have the promoter and their email address and a phone line. So all these folks are coming in from different markets. They're going to need a hotel to stay at. So this is a really good website. And that's one they'll keep building. Then you can go in and just all the way down. This is one that I found earlier, Best Florida Camps. And using the same find TBD, I can go through and very quickly see the July the 13th to the 14th, Clermont, Florida. Or here's one, sorry, this is Jacksonville. This is a to be determined. So this is somebody that you want to call. Now, a lot of times when you see websites like this, it is not very friendly. It makes it very difficult. And so this is about them and their products. So what I would do, instead of just going to the camps, I would go up here to the top and I would click on it one time. You click on it again, and then you back this up until we get to that home page. And when you get to the home page, we're hoping that you can get more information. It tells you more about who they are. Hopefully there is by state. I like that. That's good. Let's see if they have contacts. They have a lot of different camps. These are parents coming in, dropping their kids off. Here we go. Let's see if we can find it. If you go in by state, this is a really good website. If you go in by state, they have it by state. That's pretty amazing. You probably, there we go. I'll have more phone numbers and email addresses for some of these folks. So thebestcamps.com, you want to write that down. These are parents dropping their kids off one weekend, coming and getting them the next weekend and staying over. Here's another one that I found for car shows. This would be great for all of you, people that are coming in for car shows. And do the same thing, look for the TBDs, or you can look for the ones in your area. So if I want to look at all the ones in Florida, it just takes me from one to another, and all the way down. And this one is extremely busy. So I just go through here, and they've got the contact, they've got their phone number. It is certainly worth calling them if it's a multi-day event, and a lot of these are. You can go in and see if you can get folks to stay at your hotel while they're showing off their cars and coming into these car shows. Or even if it's one night before, that's okay. It'd be worth your while to get in touch with them. Because a lot of them will have different rallies as well, these car clubs. So there's opportunity there. All right. I mean, I literally sat on this page earlier, and I just went through and found all sorts of opportunities. If you change one letter from to be determined to be announced, we click on that, and you get different hits that you don't see on the other pages. So make sure you're looking at your to be determined, to be announced. Here's another little tidbit for you. You can also use a wild card. So if I change this to be, and then I use my asterisk right here, I can hit search, and then I don't have to worry if it's a to be announced or to be determined or to be confirmed, because it'll come up, all of them will. This one is a location to be announced. This one, it just says location to be, and I've got to open it up to find out. This one is location to be determined. So use your wild card when you're trying to get a lot of hits, and it will keep you busy. Now continue to go through all the pages as long as, here's a little tidbit for you. If all the words that we have up here, and you can have up to 12 words, and you can have up to 3 sets of quotes. It's just small letters. You're typing it like you're typing a sentence, so a space between each word. if all of these words show up in bold in your hits, you know that's a good hit for you. You know that's a good opportunity. But when you start getting to where there's maybe only the city and state or just city, then it probably isn't. So you'll learn to get really fast and go through these very quickly. Now on page 5, if you will take, I just did location. You can also do venue or you can do hotel. And we see a lot of Smurf-type groups, a lot of sports groups, a lot of reunions, things like that. You can change the word tournament to reunion and find any type of program you want, workshop, meeting, training, whatever you'd like. Then you'll get different results. Use all of the different keywords or event words or key phrases with one search engine. That's why I stayed in Yahoo. But if I was to take this, what was working really well for me, I copy that, and then I go into, let's go into a website that you're probably not using, a search engine. It's called Wow. And I paste this same thing. Now, Wow doesn't like the quotes, so it would come back with a really weird result. So I'm going to take those quotes out, and I'm going to hit search. Before I do, notice that wow.com, the search engine, pulls from all sorts of media, social media places, and like Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter accounts. And so you'll see a lot of social stuff that you wouldn't see anywhere else. So you get 7,090 results that come up, and these are going to be different than what you've seen anywhere else. And so this is a really good tool to use. I'm going to copy this, and now we'll go into, how about a search engine called mama.com. I like that one. It's a really good source. I'm going to paste the same exact search string because it's been successful into mama.com, and mama.com's results are down here. And so I would go through and find different hits that mama.com will provide that other search engines would not. So you just go through and use your different search engines. If there is a particular month that you need business, put your month in front of the year, and you'll get different hits that maybe you need business for the summer. Then put June, put July, and you'll find groups in those months. Okay, do I have any questions out there, John, that maybe I need to answer any questions before I move on to corporate? Any hands that are raised?
Yeah, actually, Lisa, we did have a couple of questions that came through. Let's see. The first one was asking if we could share a template of the spreadsheet.
Sure.
So we'll work with you to get a copy of that and get it distributed out to all the attendees.
Okay.
And then there was a question that said, do you have to research the competitors to do this, or can you just look up local seminars or events?
You can do either or. I would suggest you do both.
Okay. And I think that was it for now.
Okay. Great. Okay, so that's how you find group business. Now, a lot of you are really trying to get into corporations around you. And going to a corporate website is a whole different ballgame. It is almost impossible to find who you're looking for on someone's corporate website. So if you go to AT&T's website, it's all about them and their products and their services, and you can't find anybody that you need to talk to. So, and a lot of you don't really know what corporations are in your market. So when a hotel calls me, the very first thing I do when I know they need business, then I want to know who their demand generators are in that market. So I am going to look up Dallas, Texas, and as soon as I hear that, I type in the city and state, and I want to find out who are those demand generators, those corporations that are in that market. So I'm going to go down, and reading the first paragraph or two, it'll tell you what the market is known for. If it's big on technology, if it's big industrial, whatever it is, it'll tell you what makes up that city. It tells me the third largest concentration of Fortune 500 companies in the nation, computer technology, all of this right here is telling me what makes up the economy, banking, commerce, telecommunications, medical research, transportation, logistics. And so that I know where to start to help the clients find potential business. But you want to go down, and this will, depending on your market. Now, if you have a really, really small town, look up yours and see what's there. But look up 3 or 4 towns around you. Look at the largest town, that you're by as well. So you may have to do a little bit more digging than some of us that are in larger markets. But I want to click on the economy section. And as I click on this, it will give me, number one, the list of the top 12 corporations. Right down here, a list of companies in Dallas-Fort Worth. So I can click on this and get a full list. Here's the Fortune 500 companies and how they're ranked. It can give me other notable companies that are in Dallas-Fort Worth area. Each one of these are potential. And I can tell you, I had a reader board service for 15 years here in Dallas. And as I was looking through this list, I was just one company after another. I was just thinking about how much of this data is in our database from reader boards, from having meetings in this market. So there really is a lot of potential here. And like I said, going to AT&T's website here doesn't get you what you need. It gives you the headquarters, but it doesn't give you anything else. Then you're like, okay, well, who do I call? That's where you always get stuck. So you have to use different resources in order to find who to contact. And I would leave here. Now you can also use Wikipedia to build lists. So if you need a list of railroad companies or a list of insurance companies, you can just simply type in there list of insurance companies, and that's what you get, a whole full list like I just showed you. It's a great source. But I would leave here and then have to go into a website, a database called data.com. It was jigsaw.com, but now it's changed. And this pulls from 4 different databases. And American Express Travel is one of them. You can't get much better than American Express Travel because these are the corporate folks that are out there traveling. So you can go in and you can view the demo. You can see the pricing. And I think we pay $29.95 a month for this. I go in and I'm going to log in. And I actually have to log in as one of my employees because I pay for her to have it so she and her team can use this. So bear with me just a moment. I can't talk and remember someone's password at the same time. I'm not that talented. So when I get in, you can go up here to companies, and we're going to find companies. Now, or you could build your own database. So what I like about this one, you can put your zip code in, and you can build a database of corporations just in your 20-mile radius, 50-mile radius. So I'm going to put a company in. Here's AT&T. As I pull up, there's 31 different companies with AT&T of something. But I want the headquarters, which is in Dallas, and there's 29,471 contacts in here. As I click on AT&T, now I believe they have a 3-day trial on this right now. So if you want to try data.com, make sure you have the 3 days to sit and really use it. As I open this up, I have the phone number. So it's all I need once I have the phone number and AT&T.com. So if you're going to send an email to someone, it would be lisa.barham@AT&T.com or lbarham@AT&T.com. There's usually 2 ways that most corporations are doing their emails. So here, this breaks these people out in different levels, or we have different departments. And if I want to, I usually start with the manager level, and directors are the ones I start with first. So I open up these 8,814. Now, it's in alphabetical order. This is simply an embedded Excel spreadsheet. So you could click on it and alphabetize it by title. A lot of times we work on titles. And if you look at page 8, these are some of the titles that we know work really well. Area manager, travel manager, district manager, project manager, meeting coordinator. Those are the folks that you're looking for. And training manager, training director, those is a good way to do this. One of the other things that I like to do is I click on where it says updated. They are constantly updating this data. So the first time you click on it, it takes the older ones and puts them first. You click on it again, and then it's going to give you the ones that have been updated most recently. So as of today, they're calling people and making sure that they're still the right, they're still there, and you get good data. That's what I like about this. And anytime you can find titles like team leader, these people are responsible for a lot of folks. So if I click on this, I see that I want to ask for Jason Thornton. Now I already have the phone number, so you call that phone number. You ask to speak to Jason Thornton, or most of the time now it's automated, and so you just put the first 3 letters of the last name, and you'll get Jason's direct phone line, and that keeps you from having to pay any extra money. So that's a great way to use this. And if Jason's not there, just simply go back and ask for somebody else. You put them on your list to call them later, but you have all these people to call, and it is certainly worth your weight in gold. We used this database for Best Western last year to help them build their Business Advantage program. And by looking and finding all of these folks within just thousands of corporations, we were able to produce 2,000 contacts a month for them to enroll into their Business Advantage program, and they booked a little over $4 million worth of business. So once you get them on the phone, I've given you some questions. Number one, ask yourself, do I currently have them as a client? If I have this company as a client, how can I get more of their business? Well, you got to find more people and get the people that are already clients to do referrals for you. Are they located interstate? They have regional offices in your city. Look at all of these and find out, do they have product launches? Are these feeder markets that are coming through there, training programs for sleeping room business? So you've got to evaluate each one of these opportunities for you. Now, another little trick that you can use as well is if I go to Google, if you know people's titles, so let's say you're working with Cargill. Cargill's a huge corporation, and you always want to put a current year to get rid of all the old pages. So we're just going to type in Cargill, and I'm going to type in meeting manager. So I have 1,040 results that come back. Simply by putting the company and the title in a set of quotes, you get people like Fiona LaPointe that you didn't know about. You get people like Kate Short that you didn't know about, Karen Ferris, all the way through simply by knowing a title. Now, if I change this, so you don't have meeting space, so you just want to put travel manager, then you get folks like Tamara Gordon. And all the way through, you can find different contact names. And it's just a really good resource for you. Now, I have given you step 3, making a successful phone call. And it's very short and sweet. I can tell you from experience, because I train thousands of people a year. The more information you have whenever you make that sales call, the better that sales call is going to go. No matter what I put here for you, I've given you examples of what to say and how the conversation will go and what you say next. If you know where they've stayed, if you know that you're on their website and they have 6 events coming up and 2 of them are in your area and they don't have a hotel listed, tell them that. The more intelligent you sound when you're on that call, the better chance you're going to get of at least getting them to your property for a site visit. If you can get them to your property for a site visit, you've got a, what is it now, 72% chance of closing that business. You know, look at them before you call them. Understand that company. Know who they are. Understand their products. A good example, I had a client call me a couple of months ago and says, and she's been a client for a long, long time. She goes, all right, Lisa, I need to pick your brain. I've been trying to get this company, and it's a telecommunication company in Dallas. I have been trying to get their meetings business for at least 3 years now. I cannot get the lady to call me back. I'm like, well, tell me the company. So we looked at the company, and it was a telecommunications. They produce these mobile phones that you put minutes on, and you know they're not expensive, but you just keep adding more minutes by these cards. I said, go buy one of their phones and take it to her. Drop it off in a nice little packet and just put your phone number in there. You're the only contact in the phone, and have it where it's showing your contact, and just leave it. And then, you know when she's in her office, she's already found that out. I say go drop it off and then wait for her to call you. And because it's going to be her product, she's going to be embarrassed not to call you. So Sandy went to the office. She dropped it off at 2 o'clock. She knew she'd be back from lunch by then. She didn't even make it out of the big, huge building into her, she was walking across the parking lot, and her cell phone rang. And it was the lady, Sarah, on the other end. Says, I just got your card, and are you still here? I want to talk to you. So she was able to get her business because she turned it, it was all about their product. It was all about how to help them. You see how I'm going to go out of my way to make your meeting special, or how I'm going to go out of my way to take care of your people. If you do that, you have to be exceptional. You have to be different. There's so many hotels now that you just have to set yourself apart. So think of different ways. If it's a tournament, if it's a sports group, then, and you know they're coming to your market, offer to wash their clothes. Their uniforms are going to be just disgustingly gross. Those parents are going in, washing the uniforms in your bathtubs at night, and they're drying them with your hair dryers. It's ridiculous. If you charge, a $105 rate, charge $115. Those people will be happy to pay you the extra $10 to have their kids' uniforms washed and ready and folded and ready for them the next morning. Just be, what else when you're looking at how can I get this business? What else can I do to make it memorable, to be exceptional, to go above and beyond what any of my competitors would ever even think about? And so I've given you some ideas on page 8 of how to have that conversation. And step 4 is the follow-up. How do I continue to follow up without being annoying? So you've got to find different ways, like taking the phone to the client, sending them, dropping little things off. Don't just, if you call someone and leave a message one time, forget it. You're not going to get their business. Sometimes, for me, I've been in business 20 years, and even as new people that I don't know, I still have to prove myself to them. So what? I have huge clients like all of you. So what? I have big clients like Marriott and Hilton. I still have to prove myself every single time on a call, someone I don't know and they don't know me. So I have to be exceptional. I have to find cool things that I can send to them that makes them want to call me. And so I've given you a couple of websites down here that I use that I get people to call me back. So one of them is yapta.com. And I will simply take a screenshot of yapta.com. I send it off. Can't get it to come up now. I send this in an email, and I'll say, sorry about that, I will say I would like to call you and show you how to save 60% on your travel. And I simply put that in the subject line of my email. Great travel website, 60% savings. And so this is good for personal, this is good for corporate travel. And if you're going to use this personally, then you go on here. This is the best travel website I have ever seen, and I am on the phone. I am on the internet all the time looking for stuff. It also has airline refunds. This is after you've booked your airfare, you've gone on a trip. So someone in a session I did yesterday had Houston and they were going to Frankfurt. This works internationally as well. So I went in, and it's up to 6 people. So I went in, I'll just leave that there, to go in and find there's 100, nope, there's right now 2,024 flights, and it's building. So what I like about this, it starts giving you the rates. So this is from Houston to Frankfurt, Germany. So I'm going to take off 2 stops. Nobody wants to stop 2 different times, especially when the one stop is cheaper. Non-stop, I usually just go straight for the non-stop. And what I like about it, you can change this any way you want. So if you want to travel at a certain time, you can manipulate this. No, I really don't want to come back before then. You change it up. You can also go in and look at all of the different airlines. So you have all of the different airlines. You see, some of these are just ridiculously expensive. You see the different rates that each one of the airlines. And what I like about it, this is where it's cool. So I really don't want to fly Turkish Airlines. So I'm just going to go ahead, even though it may be cheaper, I'm just going to take that one out of the mix here. And if I wanted to fly Lufthansa, then all you do, you go in and you sign up for this. It's free. And whenever the price drops, you go in, I put email, I put my password, and I can sign up for this. And it's going to tell me right then that this is the lowest it's going to get, go ahead and book it. Or it's going to give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And it's going to say, wait, we're 70% sure that it's going to decrease by $300 or $200 or whatever the price is. And so they send you an email and tells you when it's going to be the cheapest to book it then. There's nothing else out there like this. And then after you get back from your trip, you go in, you have 1 week to go in. We just got back from the UK this summer, and after I got back, I put our refunds, our information in there, and from our trip, we were able to save $198 per ticket. And so we got a what do you call them, certificate from a voucher from American Airlines to use on a future trip. So we use those to go to San Diego with our kids. Everybody wants to know this. So the people that won't call you back, send them wonderful websites like this. And it may not be that you're talking about business right then. You're simply just trying to get a conversation started with them. And so you can go ahead and send them these things, start building a rapport with them, and then you can start asking them for business if they don't want to talk business right then. So I hope you enjoyed the webinar today. Tomorrow you're going to receive an email for a survey. It's a real quick, short survey. It'll take you 1 or 2 minutes to fill it out or less. And if you'll just please fill that out so you can rate how this went, we would really appreciate it. And May 8th will be the next webinar, and the topic to be determined. So are there any questions, John, before we leave?
Yeah, there are a couple in here. One that actually came out came from several people was whether or not they'd be able to play this back for their coworkers. And the answer to that is yes. We did record the webcast, and we'll be putting it online, and we'll send everyone notification once it's available for replay. And then along the lines of the template that was asked about earlier, Lisa, there was a request as to whether or not you could share the template of the introductory phone conversation that a front desk person could use.
Yes.
Or sales staff. And then one question that came up that I don't think we addressed was researching for groups of travelers from overseas.
That's a whole nother webinar. Honestly, it is, you're looking for tour and travel groups. And one real quick website I know of is ntaonline.com. And on here, you can go in and, let me see if I remember how to do this, find a tour operator. I go in here, and you can pull from different countries right here. So if you want to look at folks coming in from Canada, for example, then you can build whole groups that are going travel destinations. Choose a country or state list. Let me try this. Let's say they are Canadian. Let's try that. It's been a while since I've done this one, so let me see if this will work. And then it should give us a list of all of the Canadian, there we go, travel agencies. And then as you go in them, you can see all of their different locations of where they're going. And it'll tell you if they're coming through. Like, I just helped somebody find travel agencies that was coming through Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and have all these Amish tours. I mean, that is huge down there. And we found some in Canada that was coming through there that they weren't getting. And they'd never even heard of them, and we found it on here. So this is a great one, ntaonline.com. Any other questions? John, is that it? Not sure if I lost him. Well, thank you all so very much. I really enjoyed being with you today, and I hope to be with you in the future. So if you have any questions, please shoot me an email, lisa@hotelresources.com. I appreciate your time, and John and Rita, thank you so much. I look forward to any questions that you may have. Thanks so much. Bye.
Okay.
Lisa, thank you so much for spending time with us today and sharing this great knowledge. We really appreciate your time.
Sure.
And I just wanted to put out a thanks to all the attendees as well for coming and spending an hour with us and listening to Lisa Barham. We'll make sure that we get that email out about the topic for May 8th very shortly, so please watch out for that. And we'll appreciate that survey that you'll get tomorrow. Just take that time out and fill it out for us. So thanks so much, everyone. We appreciate you joining us.
Thanks.